I would like to clarify how you can simplify the learning of NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, and how you can learn it faster, or at least with much less struggles. The very first step is to pick only one area at a time. Not even one area of NLP, because within NLP we can find the techniques to change yourself, the techniques to heal your past, the techniques to persuade others. Not even about that. Just which area of your life, what is the main outcome you have in life right now that could be solved, that could be achieved, attained by learning new NLP skills, methods and techniques. And I would like you to focus only on that in the beginning. You just forget about anything that is not directly relevant for this main one outcome you have with all the learning of NLP tools, methods and strategies. To give you a bit of context, this is exactly what happened to me and what even polyglots are advising for learning languages. When I learned English, for example, because English is not my native tongue at all, and the level I have now, I got it in about 2 or 3 years, starting from nothing. Let's say I had the lowest grades in the classroom when I was 14, 15 years old, really the worst of the worst, and I learned my current level of English speaking in 2 or 3 years. Maybe the accent improved a bit in the years after, but mostly the vocabulary, the ease of speaking, 2 or 3 years. Did I get that level just by trying to memorize all the English words in the vocabulary, in the dictionary? Absolutely not. I learned this level because back then I was studying magic, I was a magician, magic tricks, and I was reading, trying to read books and watching videos about magic to figure out how to do magic tricks. And that's how I learned, because I could pinpoint every piece of vocabulary or phrases from the English language to one extremely specific goal. I wanted to do magic tricks. That was specific, that was something that had led to an emotional desire for me, and that is how you learn a language. Every polyglot I've met over the years who mastered 20, 25 languages, they all say it has to be done that way, by learning through something you like. Not trying to understand the tool itself theoretically, but using it through the usage of that tool for one extremely specific thing you either just like doing by itself or something you legitimately want to learn about or an outcome you have, then all the techniques, NLP techniques and in languages, all the specific grammar, vocabulary, verbs, adverbs are going to be understood way more easily because they are all linked with one specific context in mind. If you just try to memorize theoretically this and that, it is fucking overwhelming. You will just forget everything and it will just cause anxiety because you will always feel like there is more than what you can learn right now. So the idea is to pick only one outcome. If I was asking you right now, the main one outcome you have in life that has threat to understanding NLP techniques or covert hypnosis or how to influence people hypnotically through your language, all of those things, what is the main outcome you are aiming for right now in your life based on where you are? Does it have threat to career advancement, to money, to relationships? Do you want to find a partner of your dream? Do you want to recover from your breakup? Do you want to raise your kids? Do you want to buy a new car? What is the main outcome you have right now that is linked with NLP techniques or NLP methods? And then you, from all the things you're studying, watching, reading from NLP, for now you just delete literally everything that hasn't immediate threat to the one outcome you want to achieve right now. That is really how you are going to simplify the whole thing and how you are going to learn much more effectively and understand much more clearly, because you will always have one extremely clear context in mind for why and how to use this or that. And it will really clear out all the things you don't really need, all the things that are interesting, but that you don't need in a vital way for this one outcome you have that you want to be achieved right now. Step 2 through your learning journey and through the learning process is to generalize processes into concrete steps. So every time you have done something that worked, either on yourself if you are changing, healing, developing your own emotional states, yourself from the inside, or when you are influencing others, if you are a therapist, a coach, and you want to make others change by the way you communicate with them, by the way you interact with them. Every time this is happening and you have done something that actually worked, you want to generalize what you've done into concrete 3 to 5 step processes. For example, if you have said this or that to the person in your office as a therapist and the person changed, then you want to generalize, okay, what did I do What did I do that worked? Doesn't mean it will work every time, but at least it will give you a roadmap. It will give you a roadmap that will remove a lot of anxiety, and with anxiety anxiety removed, you actually perform better and you get more creative down the road. So even if this process you have used this time with this client is not the one that will help everybody, but at least having one clear roadmap in your head will just remove all the pressure you put on yourself, and therefore you will get more creative later, which is what will allow you to handle other cases, other people who may be different than the one with whom the one thing you did worked. But still, now that you have a roadmap, you can elaborate and shift the steps, maybe add more, remove some things, but you need one clear roadmap. And the roadmap has to have thread to you. In my programs, I give you my roadmaps, the ones I found out after having been teaching people for years and years. I noticed, okay, when I explain things in this way, people tend to grasp it more easily. Does that mean they will use it exactly as I lay it out? No. Some of them, yes, but not everybody. However, when they have this clear roadmap in their head, guess what? They are much less anxious, they are more confident about taking action, and the fact that they do take action is actually what makes them get results. Even with their own methods, with their own roadmap, the ones they are created for themselves, the processes they are finding out for themselves, but things they have done because they have taken action, because they had one clear roadmap in head. So whenever you have done something that worked, something that provided results, either on yourself because you felt better, because you have been able to get to sleep more easily, because you have been able to motivate yourself more easily, anything that worked, generalize it into a process. Make a process so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you want to get results again. And step number 3 is to evaluate the big principles behind what you are doing. So I would like you to write the thing you are studying exactly as if you were teaching to somebody else. Actually, creating my videos in the beginning when I started made me understand many more things about NLP that I didn't know or I thought I knew, but actually writing down processes for people to learn from them really made even me understand way better all the things I was doing intuitively. And when it is clearer in your conscious mind, same thing, you remove a lot of pressure because you have a clear step-by-step in mind for what do I need to do next time I encounter this very negative situation or this problem. You will just have your roadmap maybe written somewhere on your wall for step 1, step 2, step 3. Boom! I know I just have to follow this, and even if I am super anxious or worrying, I just follow this and boom, I'm done, I'm good. So whenever something works again, just write it out as if you were teaching to somebody who doesn't really know about it, and you want to generalize into big principles. What keeps coming back? The things you are writing do not need to be 50 pages long, not at all. Just maybe one paragraph on the one or few things you are doing well. At this point, you just want to elaborate general principles that keep coming back. Is it always about motivation? Is it always about more confidence? Is it always about placing that word with this one in this order? What are the main big principles that just keep coming back every time you are seeing something that succeed, or whenever you are succeeding at using this thing, that thing? And also this process can be linked with what's happening into NLP trainings in general, because quite often what happens in those trainings is that we put people in groups of 3 and we have one person doing the work, one person doing the change, the technique, a second person being the observer, just observing from the outside what's happening, and the third person is the subject, the one on whom the technique is going to be applied. Then everybody has to switch positions and roles. Why do they do that? Because at some point it was found out that shifting perceptual positions from the active doer to the external observer, this is creating a lot more neural pathways to understand by seeing somebody else doing the thing you're trying to do. It really helps you to figure out more mistakes, to figure out more solutions for those mistakes, and to know how to do this or that. And even if you don't have the luxury of having people to practice with all day long, at least writing down exactly as if you were teaching somebody who doesn't know about it will play a bit of that already. It will play a bit of that switching roles into your head, into your psyche, and you will have much more clear thoughts about how do I need to do that? What is the main road to get to this outcome, to persuade this person, to handle my anger, my fear, all those negative sensations? By writing down exactly as if you were teaching somebody or making videos for me right here, you just elaborate more processes for how to do that myself also. The classic phrase you may know about, united we stand, or alone we may go fast, but together we go further, for example, it's always true. When you are in a group of people, you always learn faster and more effectively because everybody is nurturing the thoughts of everybody else, the insecurities of everybody else. So when you write down as if you were having somebody in front of you who does not understand, you can actually mirror your own limitations and find processes for your own limitations by doing that.